Now DC movies are all over the place. We've seen the highs like Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, but we've also seen very lows like Suicide Squad and Justice League. The man himself, Tom Cruise, reportedly saw The Flash a few months ago and had nothing but praise for the movie. So, is Tom Cruise right? Are the early reactions all true? Is The Flash really good? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Gavin Goes to the Movies. I'm Gavin. Let's talk some movies. The Flash is the latest in the DCEU, and there's a lot of news surrounding the movie. Some good, and others not so good. Now, prior to being made, The Flash went through development hell with multiple scripts, multiple directors, delays, you name it. Ezra Miller plays Barry Allen, who is the Flash, and he learns he can travel through time. He goes back in time to save his mom, who was murdered, and his dad, who was wrongfully arrested for it. And because of the butterfly effect, bad things happen. That's the most simple way to sum up the plot, but I don't want to give anything away, and there is a lot more to it. The characters in The Flash are top notch. Everyone that's coming back that are returning characters are on their A game. Even with all the controversy surrounding Ezra Miller, he makes his case to stay on as The Flash because of how good his performance is. He's basically playing two different versions of himself, one who is older and mature, and then one that's 18 and very immature. It doesn't sound like much, but it really does show Ezra's range as an actor. Young Barry is the comedic relief of the movie, and the great part about The Flash is that even though he has jokes pretty much in every scene that he's in, the older Barry basically brings him back down. And in doing so, the jokes never go on too long, and it actually doesn't seem forced, unlike this. Another great part about Ezra playing two different Barrys is that we see a development through the character in a very unique and different way. Typically in these superhero movies we get origin stories, right? We get a movie dedicated to just showing how this person became superpowered. This is the first actual movie that Barry's in. Yes, he was in Justice League, but he played a very minor part in the overall story, so we didn't really get a lot of time with him. And now with Ezra playing two different Barrys, we get to see how much he's matured from where he was at 18 to where he is now as an adult. So it's not the same development as an origin story, but it is a very different and unique way to see the character change. In short, Ezra plays a great Flash, but an even better Barry Allen. In The Flash, we get Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton back, both as Batman. Now, Ben Affleck's Batman isn't around that much in this movie. He is in it, but it isn't as much as I wish he was because he's one of my favorites. But with the little time that he had to play Batman, he makes the most of it and he gives us a great version of his Batman. Michael Keaton, on the other hand, gets a lot more to do in the movie. It was so cool to see my childhood Batman come back, and the things that he does in The Flash really help cement him as one of the best, if not the best, Batman ever in live action. Newcomer Sasha Calle, who plays Kara, aka Supergirl, brings a level of intensity that I was not expecting. Essentially, she changes places with Superman in Man of Steel, and she has to take on Zod herself. Unfortunately, Sasha doesn't get enough screen time. Every time she's on screen is great, but the idea of her coming to Earth instead of Clark isn't really explored in as much detail as it could have been. There are little bits here and there about her explaining what Krypton was, how she got to Earth. Now, I know the movie's called The Flash, I just wanted a little bit more of Supergirl because of how fascinating that whole idea of her in the movie was. One of the best parts about The Flash is the pacing. It never felt like it was boring or full of filler. A good example is at the beginning we get this huge intro full of action, and then it calms down and it gives us a little backstory to Barry Allen, why we should care about him, what happened to his mom, and then it moves into time travel, and then it moves into the other Barry. So everything is just continuously moving forward, introducing characters, introducing ideas, and in doing so it allows the whole movie to move at a natural pace. Now, I understand that this is a superhero movie, not only a superhero movie, but one having to do with someone that can run at the speed of light and time travel. It's gonna have a lot of CGI. My issue, and the reason I was so frustrated with the CGI, is that things that shouldn't look bad, looked bad. And recently, the director, Andy Muschietti, came out and said that CGI, the weird looking CGI, was intentional. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a certain scene with a baby. The baby looked so weird, it took me out of what was already a really great scene. Just get a real baby. And now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller has been in the headlines for over a year now, doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing. Unfortunately, that is impacting this movie. If we look here at Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score is clearly way higher than the actual Rotten Tomatoes score from critics. Having said that, I recommend doing your research if you are on the fence about seeing the movie because of Ezra. I went into this movie focusing on the movie itself and none of the outside news, none of that. And I was really impressed. Tom Cruise, Stephen King, and early reactions were all right. The Flash is special. Ezra Miller does a great job as the Flash, but absolutely crushes it as Barry Allen. The arc that he goes through is rewarding, heartbreaking, and it felt earned. Barry's motivation to save his mom drives the film and is something that many people are going to resonate with, and in doing so are going to root for him the entire time. While some of the CGI is distracting and the villains are severely underdeveloped, the movie itself has something for everyone, whether they like DC characters, superhero movies, or just good storytelling. It's a movie that is fun and has many elements in it that reminded me of why I love to go to the movies. This is the DCEU at its best. Thank you so much for watching my review on The Flash. If you liked the movie, let me know down in the comment section below what you liked about it and where you hope the DC universe goes next. And if you liked the video, please click that like button and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for movie news, reviews, rankings, recaps, and more. Until next time, everybody, see you later.